Oh, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hickory Motor Speedway right here for round number 5, the Birthplace 100 for the Fast Action Racing Series Short Track Thunder Series ARCA cars right here in this amazing little tiny short track. I am Mike Taylor. I'm up here in the booth and we are currently under qualifying conditions. But before we get to that, let's take a quick look here at your little tiny track here. This is a 0.34 mile track, so less than a half mile. So these cars are going to hit the gas, hit the brake, hit the gas, hit the brake fairly quickly around this little tiny track. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's come back out here on track, see if there is anybody still running around this little tiny track. Looks like Lucas Edwards. He's coming out in that number 87 machine. And he's going to hit the throttle out of turn number 4. The laps are going to go really fast here as he loses it and taps the wall up in turn number 1. He's going to call it and bring it back down into the pits and try it again here. Everybody currently has so currently everybody has made their qualifying attempt here since, except there for Lucas Edwards, Eddie Hawks, and Zach Britt. Alrighty, everybody has put in a lap time as we're sitting here watching Lucas Edwards finish up his third lap, and he will bring it home into the 5th spot with a 14 point something. As we are getting ready to get this thing underway here, ladies and gentlemen, we have some really big things happening here. Just a couple things here I would like to touch on. We would like to welcome Rookie Class Racing right here to the iCast Racing Network, which is powered by iRacing. Rookie Class Racing is a league for all sorts of drivers, from newcomers all the way to veterans. Everybody is more than welcome to join that league. Just go to iRacing.com or go to the iRacing League section in iRacing and look up Rookie Class Racing, and you can join in on their fun. Also, if you like what you see here today with the Fast Action Racing Series for their Short Track Thunder Series, be sure to check them out here as well. As we are getting ready here, ladies and gentlemen, for some good racing. And we're going to go ahead and take a look now here at your starting lineup for heat number 1. Heat number 1, you're going to have Dan Adkins sitting on the pole for STS. I don't think that's right. Uh, don't know why it's not all upset or all correct in our imagery here. But Dan Adkins, he'll be on the inside of row number 1 with Chris Roberge in row number 2. Eddie Hawks and Zach Britt will make up row number 2, and rounding out the field for heat number 1 is going to be Jeff Engel. These drivers are now heading out on track. Alrighty, 5 drivers are ready to tackle this little tiny short track. And each heat race here will be just about 10 laps. So we are getting ready to go green flag racing right here, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, pace car is in, and we are green flag racing right here at Hickory Motor Speedway for round number 5. Alright, right now Dan Atkins got out to the early lead as there's a big battle going on between Chris Roberge, Eddie Hawks, and Zach Britt for that second spot. All 3 drivers want that position, but only one person can have it. And right now it's going to be Chris Roberge and that number 9 Monster Energy Ford Mustang as they exit turn number 4 here once again back down into turn number 1. Side by side they continue to run around this speedway. Chris Roberge currently, it seems like he's in the correct lane to hold it, but that number 15 of Eddie Hawks has such a good run on exit as well as they touch heading down into turns 1 and 2 and back out to the straightaway, still side by side as they enter turn number 3. Right now, Eddie Hawks will take over that second spot as they come back out to, and Eddie Hawks gets sideways. And Eddie Hawks will spin it around on the front straightaway. Let's go back here, ladies and gentlemen, and take a look, see what happened to Eddie Hawks. We're going to go ahead and ride on board as he was coming out of turn number 4. He just got on the throttle a little too hard, and he got help from that number 9 of Chris Roberge. You know, no hard feelings there whatsoever for Chris Roberge and Eddie Hawks, as that was just a pure simple racing incident. So we're going to go ahead and line them up, do it all over again. We still have 6 laps remaining, 5 laps now. As these cars are going to seem like they're going to go ahead and stay single file for the moment. And I just realized here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and take them green flag again, this time by single file. Dan Atkins out front in that number 91 machine. Well, nope. Lights are back on. I thought we were going to go green this time. Alright. Now the lights are off on the pace car and they will now double up here. I got too much ahead of myself here and I wasn't paying attention. So we're going to go ahead and double up. Dan Atkins, Chris Roberge back on the front row. Zach Britt and Jeff Engel are now in 3 and 4, and back in the back is now Eddie Hawks. Pace car is back in here, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We are green flag racing once again here at Hickory Motor Speedway. Dan Atkins gets out into a credible start. Chris Roberge, he's still working hard on that outside of Zach Britt to get around him. And here comes that 15 of Eddie Hawks. He's ready to come back knocking to get back into that second position. Single file they come now out of turn number 2 down this very short straightaway. And dive back down into turn number 3. No driver really getting into a good position to start making any moves, as everything has settled down right now for heat number 1. We still have one more heat to go after this, ladies and gentlemen. Currently out front, it's going to be Dan Atkins in that number 91 machine as they make their way back onto the back straightaway and back it down into turn number 1 or turn 4. And white flag is out this time by, and coming out of turn number 4 is going to be Dan Atkins bringing home the win. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for heat number 1. And let's go ahead and show you the race results for heat number 1. Yeah, Dan Atkins, Zach Britt snuck in second place in that number 61 machine. Chris Roberge in the number 9 will bring it home third. Eddie Hawks not able to recover from that early spin. He'll bring it home fourth. And Jeff Engel in the number 89 machine will bring it home fifth. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid for heat number 2. Cody Majoric, he'll start on the pole with Jordan Martin to his outside. Lucas Edwards to the inside of row number 2, and Matthew Stern to his outside. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this thing underway. As you see them now lining up here on the front straightaway. Now we have a packed house here for you guys tonight. We may only have just about 8 cars here on track, but hey, we are ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. And we are green flag racing for heat number 2. Oh, looked like Cody Majoric in that number 74 machine missed a shift, and the 87 Lucas Edwards hit the back end of Majoric, and so that allowed Jordan Martin to somewhat get out here into an early lead. But here comes Majoric back to the inside as they touch side by side, heading through turns 1 and 2, back to the back straightaway. Still side by side as they are doing a high speed pace lap. None of these drivers giving much room as you see these drivers still running side by side. Exactly how they started this race behind the pace car, but now Jordan Martin finally out to the early lead. Matthew Stern rolls up the speedway and almost gets into that outside wall. And here comes Cody Majoric. He's looking now for to make a run, but Lucas Edwards in the number 87, he had a little bit of run, but then Cody Majoric had something happen with his transmission or something because he almost came to a complete stop, and that had to cause Edwards to lift right there. As you guys see, it happen again. He may be having a little bit of an issue with his transmission on the exits here. However, Lucas Edwards, he is fast as he now gets inside of that 74, and the 74 is around. Caution will come out. I don't believe there's any ill intentions there, ladies and gentlemen, but really good racing for these drivers. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to bring them back out here once again. While we are under this caution break, we do want to give a big shout out to SDK Gaming for all of their amazing overlays that we all get to see and enjoy right here on our broadcast. thank you so much for them and everything that they do in Pascal. You do a lot, and we appreciate everything that you do. You've helped me learn and grow so much as a broadcaster. So thank you so much to them. Let's go ahead and get these cars back around the track one more time as the pace car comes in. These guys will elect to go single foul on this restart. And we are green flag racing once again. Lucas Edwards now going to try to work that outside around Jordan Martin. He will dive back to the inside to get on the inside of Martin. And Martin will try to hang tough around that outside as they come out of turn number 4. Martin will continue to lead this race as they have 3 laps to go. Up into the corner they touch, but they both keep it sideways. Martin out front now as he tries to get down to the in front of Edwards, which he will. 2 laps remaining now for your race leader of Jordan Martin, but here comes Matthew Stern in that number 4 Skull Machine. He's trying to make some noise here for that second spot as he gets down on the apron, and he will fall back to that 4th spot. Final lap now for your race leader, Jordan Martin, in that number 13, as Matthew Stern has a big slide heading down into turn number 1 and into turn number 3 for the final time. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Martin in that number 13 Ford Mustang. He will bring it home first. Edwards locks it up heading up into turn number 1. Oh, there's a wall there, Cody. Or I'm sorry, Lucas. That was a wall. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look at your results for race number 2. Jordan Martin came out first with Lucas Edwards second. Cody Majoric came home third in that number 74 machine. And Matthew Stern in the number 4. He brought it home fourth. Now let's go ahead here, ladies and gentlemen, and take a look at your starting lineup for... Oh, we are actually going to do a quick warm-up here. Well, while we are doing warm-ups, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a look at your championship point standings. Lucas Edwards and Chris Roberge for Shoot the Shit Racing are on top of the leaderboards at 380 points and 378 points respectively. Really good battle right now for these drivers up top. Jordan Martin, he's up there in third for Long Run Motorsports. And Cody Majoric is up there in number 4th spot for RV2 Motorsports. And Jeff Engel, very strong in the top 5 in points currently for Quill Motorsports. Dan Adkins, also for STS Racing. He's up there in the 6th spot. Brad Qualls for Long Run Motorsports. Joseph Nelson in that number 54 machine. He is in 8th for Tight On Entry Racing. Keegan Browning for Tight On Entry Racing will be in 9th. Matthew Stern for RV2 will be 10th. Teammate Eddie Hawks will be back there in 11th. Ryan Waltz D. Jarnett, he will be 12th in that number 33 Quill Motorsports machine. Zach Britt in that number 61 machine for Team Britt. He's actually on another team, but I haven't been able to update it just yet. And then Andrew Schneider in that number 80 Quill Motorsports machine will be 14th. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to transfer over to our race session. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup. Dan Adkins, Jordan Martin, both on the pole for winning their respective heats. Zach Britt will be on the inside of row number 2, and Lucas Edwards be joining him on the outside. Row number 3, Chris Roberge and Jody Majoric will share row 3. Eddie Hawks, Matthew Stern will share row number 4. And rounding out your field is going to be Jeff Engel in that number 89 machine in that 9th spot. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 100 laps of awesome racing getting ready to come your way. And we are ready to get this race underway here, ladies and gentlemen. All 9 of these drivers on track. They are getting ready to rock and roll. The lights are out on our iRacing pace car. It is going to be in the hands of our flagman Barney to start this race. And then after that, it will fall in the hands of the race leader under these restarts. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday night under the lights here at Hickory Motor Speedway. 100 laps for the Fast Action Racing Series Fast Short Track Series, as they are now rocketing down the back straightaway. Dan Adkins gets way out in the lead currently in that number 91 machine, as the rest of the field will now stack up behind them, as they will run single foul for the moment. But here comes that number 13 of Jordan Martin trying to attack that 61 of Zach Britt, but they are currently running single foul for the time being until you get back behind them. That 74 machine of Cody Majork, he hit the wall on the exit of turn 4 there, as they will now go ahead and run single file here, as they are trying to get everything sorted out. Alright, as you see the field coming down this back straightaway, just give you a general idea of how fast things are happening. It is absolutely crazy, as we go ahead and ride on board for a lap here with Jordan Martin in that number 13 machine. Jordan Martin currently third out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. You are out of the throttle around this track a lot more than you are when you are actually on the throttle, as he gets right to the back bumper of Zach Britt in that number 61 machine. Dan Adkins already pulling out to like a 20 car length difference, as Martin's trying to get onto the inside here of that number 61 machine, but still unable to make it happen. As we drop back here to look at Chris Roberge in that number 9 Monster Energy machine, he's trying hard to get around that number 87 of Lucas Edwards. Edwards absolutely very strong everywhere we go. So right now we have a really good racing action here for second place and fourth place. These drivers just got to get it figured out on who's going to take what and when. As you see here, they are flying in that caution is out. Sounds like that was for Cody Majork, as he comes to a stop on the back straightaway. And he will go ahead and tow it here to the pits. Let's go back here and take a look and see what happened to Cody as he went here into turn number 2. He got a little bit of help there from Matthew Stern on the back straightaway, but he will go ahead and he tried to get it going, and he will go ahead and tow it. Very unfortunate here for that number 74 of Cody Majork. Alrighty, it seems like that number 74 Cody Majork went ahead and loaded it up into the garage for the evening, as these drivers will come out of turn number 2. Should be getting that 1 to go signal this next time by. Alrighty, pace car is off, or I'm sorry, the lights are off on the pace car, and we are going to go racing here once again, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Atkins will take over that top spot, and it will be in the control of Dan Atkins here on the restart. Zach Britt on the outside in the number 61 machine. He's actually holding very strong now to Dan Atkins on that outside. But Dan Atkins, he will get that hard, fast exit out of turn number 2 that time by. And here comes Jordan Martin trying to make some noise again for that second spot. But look, here it is coming on around the outside. Lucas Edwards in that number 87 machine, as we will fall back to Lucas Edwards and Jordan Martin's battle here for that third spot. Edwards got into the wall there on the exit of turn number 4, but that did not slow his momentum on trying to get around that number 13 of Jordan Martin for that third spot. As we hear another car having issues in the back, and that's going to be the 4 car of Matthew Stern. Let's quickly go back, take a look, and see what happened to him as they come down through turns 1 and 2. He just looks like he got on those bumps on the inside and spun it around, but he will get his machine back up and running as we head back here and take a look at Jordan Martin here in that third spot. He was able to have everything settle, but now here comes Chris Roberge. He's looking to make it 3 in a row now after securing his first win just a couple short weeks ago, and what seemed to be a very relief on him, as he is now struggling to get around Lucas Edwards back here for that 4th spot, as we have 30 laps to go here tonight. These laps are winding down awfully quick here, as the 15 of Eddie Hawks, he has some major issues as he heads down into turn number 1. Let's go back here. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but we're going to come back here and take a look and see what happened to Eddie Hawks. So he was coming down the front straightaway. He lost it out of turn 4 and hit the concrete wall instead of those tires. So that must have been a little bit of a hard impact there for Eddie Hawks in that machine. Eddie Hawks will go ahead and catch the back end of this field. Currently, Matthew Stern in that number 4 machine, he is down on the in the pits for the moment. Chris Roberge in that number 9 Monster Energy machine. He has struggled getting his first win here in the Fast Action Racing Series, but he has gone to victory lane the last 2 weeks. So it has been an absolute incredible couple of weeks for that number 9 machine. Chris Roberge, he is out of Courtenay, British Columbia. Everybody's favorite Canadian. Chris, definitely a really cool, laid-back guy. All right, we are now doubled up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get ready to do this all over again. And the green flag is back out here at Hickory Motor Speedway. 24 laps to go in this event. As you see Zach Britt manhandling that number 61 machine around the outside. He's trying to keep it up there to not allow Dan Atkins to get too far out in front, but he will tap the wall just a little bit there on the exit of turn 4. But here comes Jordan Martin now attacking to the inside. He is unable to make anything happen, but here comes Chris Roberge in that number 9 trying to get on the inside of Jordan Martin as they now enter down into turn number 1. Britt looking to make that outside work, but still unable to get to the outside of Atkins as they now run here through turns 3 and 4. And back out here to the front turns 1 and 2 now. These four cars still single file as they are trying to get it all sorted out amongst themselves. Your defending champion here in the Fast Action Racing Series, Dan Atkins, he is trying to secure a second championship here in a total different car than what they were running last season. Last season, these drivers were alternating between the Xfinity and trucks. Well, this season, they are running the Arca Menard cars on short tracks, and as you can tell, Dan Atkins, he is pretty fast here as well, as we have a pass happening back here for that number 5 spot. Currently, Lucas Edwards has it, but Eddie Hawks wants it. But Lucas Edwards currently will bring it out front for the time being as we jump back up here to your race leaders. The top two are almost running identical lap times as we continue to watch them take place around this quick 0.3 mile racetrack. It's just shy of a half mile, but it's not quite a quarter mile, so it's a little bit bigger. So you are actually off the throttle more around this track than you are on the throttle. So you're only on the throttle for maybe about 4 seconds around this track, and total these drivers do a lap in just about 14 seconds as we have 14 laps to go. So with that being said, I mean, these guys are only on throttle maybe 5, okay, I'll give them 6 seconds or so. So it's a very interesting, as you actually hear Dan Atkins get into the outside wall on the exit of turn number 4, and that's going to allow Zach Britt to get back up there on his back bumper here as they come through 3 and 4 now. These drivers are still running single file, but back here we have a good battle now once again between Lucas Edwards. Oh, and we have a spinner of Jeff Engel out of turn number 4, but we will stay green flag racing. Eddie Hawks finally gets around Lucas Edwards. Let's go back, take a quick look and see what happened to Jeff Engel out of turn number 4. Engel just running right around that outside lane, got into the throttle, and he just looped it here on the front straightaway. Back out here to Eddie Hawks and Lucas Edwards. Eddie Hawks will take over that 5th spot. As you see, Zach Britt, he has lost some room here on that number 91 machine of Dan Atkins as we have 8 laps to go this time by. Jordan Martin coming up and starting to give Britt a little bit of pressure. Let's see how Britt is going to get around, Jordan. Let's see how Jordan can get around that number 61 of Britt as Britt pulls away just a little bit here in turns 3 and 4. 7 laps remaining for that man right there, that number 91 machine, as he exits and enters turns 2 and 3 now, as they continue to pace laps around this fast little short track. They are now approaching that number 89 of Jeff Engel to put him 1 lap down. Engel will go ahead and just stay high, and he will allow the race leaders to go by. No issues there. Jordan Martin continuing to put pressure on Zach Britt back here for that 2nd spot, as these drivers are coming around for 4 laps to go. Really a good racing here for these front runners. Three laps to go this time by. Two laps to go this time by. As you see, Jordan Martin, he was able to take over that 2nd spot, but time is running out. He is not going to be able to get back to that back bumper of Dan Atkins in that number 91 Chevrolet. White flag is in the air for defending champion Dan Atkins, as they will pace one more lap around this fast little track. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of turn number 4, driver of the number 91 Chevrolet, Dan Atkins, will win it. Jordan Martin will come home 3rd. Ingalls come home 4th. Eddie Hawks 5th. I'm sorry, yeah, Chris Roberge in 3rd. Eddie Hawks in 4th. Lucas Edwards will come home 5th. Jeff Engel will come home 6th. Zach Britt in that number 61 machine. He went off track at some point. Let's go back here and take a look and see what happened to that 61. He was running 3rd here on the final lap. He just came out of a turn number. Oh, he came out of turn 2, hit the wall just a little bit, and then pounded the outside wall. So that will have Britt come home in 7th. But ladies and gentlemen, your race winner, Dan Atkins. As you see, Chris Roberge leaving the start-finish line area. Alrighty, let's see what these guys are up to. It looks like they're going to have a little bit of fun here. Oh, I hear a lot of carnage. Oh, hard impact there. Upside down goes Roberge. The 87 of Lucas Edwards. He also hit those tires pretty hard there as well. Let's go back here for a quick moment. As they come out of 4, they're just going to full send into that tire wall, bounce all the way back across, and there goes Lucas Edwards barrel rolling. Very interesting thing for these drivers to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to now once again fly high above this speedway. Before we do get down to business, let's go ahead and take a look at our final results. This is going to give the drivers a little bit of time here to breathe and get their heads together after this wicked fast race. Dan Atkins, your race winner for STS Racing. Jordan Martin, he'll bring it home 13th. Chris Roberge will bring it home. Jordan Martin will bring it home 2nd in that number 13 machine. Chris Roberge will bring it home 3rd in the number 9 machine. Eddie Hawks in the 15 will bring it home 4th. Rounding out your top 5, Lucas Edwards in his number 87 machine. Jeff Engel will bring it home 6th. Zach Britt, with very unfortunate situation with 2 laps to go, he will bring it home 7th. Matthew Stern had incidents here as well. And Cody Majork early leaving it for him as well in that number 74 machine. Let's go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, take a very brief and somewhat quick commercial break before we get things up and rolling with our interviews of the race leaders. So stay on by.
won it, but they wrecked each other out for that, and I just took it, and I just hold them back too because they're right on my tail, so I had to do what I gotta do, like slow them down, block their lanes, and so they can't get by me, and of course I won that one too. It feels nice. So probably got the points lead here for tonight, so it's all right, pretty good for overall race.
Yeah, absolutely. You finally got that monkey off your shoulder with that first win a couple weeks ago at Five Flags, and then you turn around, win it again at Gateway. Next week, we're going to head over to Iowa for 125 laps. What's your thoughts about Iowa over there, and what kind of abuse can you do over there in that number 9 Monster Energy machine?
Just practice it and just hopefully and save the tires, of course, because tires are a big thing here around these cars because there's so much power to it. So yeah, just save the tires for these cars.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely sounds like a really good plan for next week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Roberge in that number 9 Monster Energy Ford Mustang. Congratulations on your third position. And I'll go ahead and throw you up, buddy.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get that number, the driver of the number 13 Ford Mustang. Jordan Martin, do you got a copy, sir?
I do. What's going on?
Not too much, buddy. You brought your vehicle home second, right behind Dan Atkins. Your car seemed to have a little struggle on the early going of these runs, but as the run started to, uh, come in, you got faster and faster. Tell me about your night here, and did you think if we had more laps that you'd be able to catch Dan?
Uh, I don't know if I'd have been able to catch him. We're pretty even there towards the end. Um, I think if I didn't have to battle Zach, I might could have just stayed with Dan and maybe had a chance to battle with him. But Zach being one of my teammates, I wanted being so early in the race, I didn't want to force issue and take us both out or anything. So I was kind of hanging back there for a while, just letting Zach see if he could catch Dan, maybe give him a battle, but just kind of saving my stuff there for a little bit. But yeah, we were supposed to have 100 laps. I guess I kind of messed up on creating the lobby, but still a good race overall.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely a really good race overall. You had a really good points night here, coming home second, so that's definitely going to move you up in the points a little bit. What's your thoughts about next week when we head over to Iowa?
Man, I've always loved racing Iowa on, whether it's Heat 5 or the new NASCAR 25, anything I've raced Iowa on, I've always had pretty good speed there. So I'm pretty excited. I think I've got a shot anytime I show up. But Iowa's going to be a good one for me, I think.
Really good luck next week when we go to Iowa. Alrighty, Jordan, congratulations on your second place finish, buddy. Driver of that number 13 Ford Mustang, Jordan Martin, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the man and driver of that number 91 Chevrolet, of that Black's Tire 91 Chevrolet of Dan Atkins. Dan Atkins, Mike up in the booth. You got a copy.
Yep, I got you.
Dan, once again, you were wicked fast around Hickory Motor Speedway. You seem you got this track figured out pretty quick because no matter when somebody tried to attack on you, you knew exactly how to hold them off. How'd your car handle, and what's your thoughts on the race today?
Um, I wish the race was longer. Actually, we only ran 50 laps. I thought it was supposed to be 100. 50s was a short race, but yeah, the car felt good off on practice. I ran like 90, no, like 86 laps consistent in practice, and it felt good. So I adjusted my brake bias and went from there.
Yeah, as defending champion, you have a lot on your shoulders this season. Next week we head over to Iowa Speedway for 125 laps. How are you over at Iowa? And how's the car? You anticipate that race to go for you next week?
I'm looking forward to that race. Actually, I was probably one of my favorite tracks. I used to run a lot of the old ARCA cars there when I first got on iRacing, so I like that track, no matter if it's the old configuration or new configuration. But I think we'll have another shot at it. I think Chris and Lucas, maybe Jordan, some other guys might sneak in there, but I think we got a good shot.
Yeah, absolutely. You're very strong almost everywhere you go. So, yeah, congratulations on your win here today, Dan. I'll let you go to get back up to
Appreciate it.
the chat. All right, ladies and
Yep,
gentlemen,
have a good
driver,
one.
you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 91 black tire Chevrolet SS, your race winner, Dan Atkins. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Before we do let everybody go, I would like to send out a really huge, massive thank you to Rookie Class Racing as a sponsor to come into the iCast Racing family. So thank you guys so much for joining us here in our adventures early on in our broadcasting days. We have a big announcement coming up very soon, so I would like for everybody to stand by for that. Here in the next few days, I am looking forward to make that announcement as well. Before we also head out, we want to thank SDK Gaming for all of their beautiful overlays to make this possible. Make sure you guys go check out simracerhub.com. They are the leading statistics running browser that you need for all of your statistic needs for sim racing. You can find stats for almost anything and everything there. So please go check them out. On behalf of myself, Mike Taylor, up here in the booth, I would like to thank everybody so much for joining us here on the iCast Racing Network. We hope you enjoy this presentation, and we will see you live next week from Iowa. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, happy time zones.
This has been a production of the iCast Racing Network powered by iRacing. Thank you for your continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe for notifications for all of our live events right here on YouTube and Twitch. We would like to thank SDK Gaming for their production overlays that makes this event enjoyable. Until next time, happy time zones.
Metal and rubber on the asphalt tonight. Speeding through chaos in the setting light. Hit the brakes and brace, crash and race, cause it's a glorious sight. Tire skids and sparks flying.